Good morning. Welcome back. It's still Wake Up Nigeria, and it's time for us to take a look at what's happening on the covers of the dailies this morning. Mike, Messikeno and I are going to go through these papers. We have the Nigerian Tribune with us, starting us out. Now, today is Monday, 15th of April, 2024. Invasion of Oyo Secretariat, it says. Tight security in Osun, Ekiti, Kwara, Ondo, Ogun. Governors, police urge residents to remain calm, says no cause for alarm. Afenifere, CCII, others condemn attack. Now, at the top left, it says flight ticket war. Nigerians stand to benefit more, according to stakeholders. It says they want federal government to call foreign airlines to order. LNG supply, Shell tables claims against Venture Global. LNG faces arbitration hurdles. And let's see what else we have here. There is a photo story on the Israeli interception of the barrage of missiles from Iran as they weigh options. Mike, I'm not sure if you were online at all when the news of the first set of drones coming from Iran went over. I definitely. It was all over the news.
Well, I definitely saw it, but I'm more concerned a bit about local matters, and that would be, you know, that story, the top left corner of the flag there says flight tickets war. Nigeria stands to benefit more, and you see, no, in this case, it is extremely what has happened over the past few weeks and months is distasteful. We saw what Alan Oyema of Air Peace did. You understand? Came into to the UK, Nigeria-UK route, and then, of course, brought the prices down and all of that. And then these other guys are I would call sharks, the bigger ones in the business. What did they do? Some of them went as far as going even so much far lower, dropping to about 400,000, even less than what he had come up with.
Wow.
And then people are, you have to understand something about national pride. Look, these people come from outside. They have been fleecing. The price has been so high. So it's possible that their prices can be that low. And then you know what they are trying to do. You go and patronize these ones. What happens is that you want to try to run Air Peace out of that route, and then they will go back to where they used to do it. We cannot let that happen. What we are seeing happen, it's business. It's business. Yes,
yeah, sure.
But you see, like someone spoke about the Germans and Lufthansa.
Sure.
Someone spoke about Turkey and Turkish Airlines. As it stands now, we don't have a national carrier. The only thing we have that is Nigerian is Air Peace. I would want to say that in that particular manner. I mean, do you know what's been happening over the past few days with the dollar and all of that?
Yes, the dollar has dropped quite well.
I would want to talk about this much more. Where even Nigerians are angry because they've lost money. There's been so much investment in the dollar. Nigerians are now so angry, from the foreign exchange down to crypto and all the rest. They're so angry now that the economy is even doing better. And I'm like, whoa.
Okay, so definitely there are going to be people that will be upset that they've lost money. But the truth is, if you're truly in that business, in that space, you understand you're supposed to hedge against both sides in order to make sure you don't lose money.
That's a wise business.
But that's the thing.
Hedging.
Yeah, you hedge against it. So once you notice fluctuations like that, you make moves, especially if it's about your business, your full business.
Well, my point is this. Look,
I was going to say
about it. We're expecting it. I'm shocked.
I was going to say,
but it's going to be less than 1,000 very soon. And if it goes even lower, if it goes even lower,
that's so much better.
I know friends, I know people who have so much invested in the dollar. Or more, you will cry. We are happy. We need in next few weeks or so. The fuel should come down because Dangote and Port Harcourt, they are coming up and all of that.
I'm even hearing the price, at least the price of one derica of rice has come down, at least. It came down by about 100 naira as at last week. I have someone that's just been monitoring and giving me updates. Yeah, so, and I've been using dericas of rice and price of milk in the market to sort of gauge. And yeah, 100 naira is shaving off some things. 50 naira is shaving off some things. Hopefully, even more will shave off things eventually. But the thing is, price wars are not new. There are price wars between soft drink vendors, for instance, brands.
But you know, there's some price wars that you know that is based on competition. But this one, you know that they are trying to run somebody out of business. That kind of price war.
But you know, there are some cola drinks, for instance, that we know is the same amount inside each bottle. And we know that the price can be brought down. We know it's exactly the same flavor.
I like when we had Wake Up Extra. I wish we had Wake Up Extra. We'll take more time to talk about it.
Yeah,
but I'll say generally, the outlook is looking good. I like it. Kudos to the economic team. It's looking unlikely, but almost one time when dollar becomes 300 naira,
One of the highest performing currencies in the world as at last week. So, hey, we hope for the best. Let's move on to the Daily Times here. The Daily Times newspaper this Monday says, published loan agreements obtained since 1999. Serap urges Tinubu as president to establish an independent audit on spending of loans obtained by former presidents. Wow, that looks like a very deep investigation they're going to have to go through there. Now it says at the top, Army denies enlistment of repentant Boko Haram members into service, says soldier who murdered Miss Hawakulu Tabra is in detention and under probe. Let's see what we have here. It also says here, 21 released girls came with 34 children, according to the report on Chibok. 48 parents of abducted girls die as a result of psychological trauma. It also says here several cases of kidnapping instability persist with girls among those most at risk. We mentioned this in the news update earlier. NDLEA recovers 900,000 opioid pills and 1,347.4 kg in 7 states. Let's see what we have here. Safe Schools Initiative, federal government to engage hunters, vigilantes on intelligence gathering. And right at the bottom, federal government needs Nigerian support to make lives better. Let's see which other paper, which one would you like to take, Mike?
Which one did you just open?
We have, that was Daily Times, so
okay,
we have this day.
Right.
Yeah, this day.
Power theft, destruction of electricity facilities now carry 3 years imprisonment. The Minister of Power was on your view a few days back, and of course he has been in the firing line due to what has been happening in the power sector. For me, I would say if I look at what it is, if band A is 20 hours, me, I'm under band W or something, because the light they are giving me, in fact, it was band W, it improved to band S, but it has come now lower. So, but then the power minister has been in the news for quite a while, but hopefully this kind of things, it's not easy because, you see, with what is happening now, you know, a number of Nigerians now said, look, you're going to see a lot of people who will steal power because it's been happening. You're talking about unmetered households, over 5 million unmetered households, I think by the last count across the country. Do you know what that means?
Unmetered.
Unmetered, 5 million that you are not giving account for. 5 million of households who are not paying for power. Do you know what that means? And then you're talking about subsidies that are being owed, that even that they subsidize, the subsidy the federal government is supposed to give, the federal government has not even paid. So imagine how much 5 million households could do.
So I have a feeling part of that particular number are people who have decided to not be on the grid at all. In other words, not use the national power grid at all. Some people have alternative sources of power who are not metered. But I'm thinking it is a very large number, and it has to account for a lot of wastage. We've talked about wastage over time here on the show. The fact that people just don't switch off their lights when they leave the room, they leave everything on. It's just not a culture that we're used to. We need to figure out a way to educate the people.
If you're paying for your power and you decide to turn it on and go out, now you Sabi, you will pay for it. Yes, you will pay for it. I mean, the other time I have a friend who's in band A, and before the announcement came on, she found out that the last she would buy 30,000 naira. It will last for maybe 2 weeks to 3 weeks. 30 naira was gone in a few days.
Wow.
Almost, I was going to visit them. They turned off the AC.
Turn off
Light
everything.
was on. It was fan. They were sweating.
Wow.
Why?
Wow. Yeah.
They could not pay 30,000 naira in 3 days. You understand?
Sure.
So if you are metered and you decide to turn on your light, no, continue. You are the one that will pay for it. But I'm just letting you know. You that for me in Nigeria, they switch to UK behavior once. once you are regulated, once you will conserve.
Sure.
I mean,
there was actually a list. I think I posted it on the group, one of our groups recently. A list of how many points each electrical appliance takes in the house, from air conditioning to your pressing iron to even to your electric cooker and everything. So if you know you have all these appliances in your house, you should find out how many points it chops.
In fact, AC were on for 1 hour, off for 30
Funny enough,
minutes.
AC doesn't chop as much as some appliances. It's so funny.
Very
funny.
Very true. Electric cooker and all of that. I own the AC yesterday. Off this AC. You come now. Let fan be blowing the water that has circulated.
Water heater versus electric kettle. Which one do you want to use?
Let fan be blowing. You use gas, so.
At this point, we still have, I think, one more paper here with us. Oh, we have the New Telegraph here. Let's see what we have here. Let's see if I can spin this around. Humanitarian Ministry probe. We've not dared anybody. It says here, apparently celebrities being investigated over Naira abuse. Discrete probes reveal fraudulent dealings when it comes to COVID-19 funds, World Bank loan, and Abacha loot. That was also in. Now we have the Guardian here.
Yeah, sticky prices, poor control upset consumers despite stronger Naira. That's it. We've spoken about it. But there's one thing I know. I've spoken to those people. It was very easy to jack up prices once you heard that dollar was going up. Dollar is going up. You are selling fufu. Take it up. Dollar. How did dollar affect cassava? Okay. But the one that I know that it should come down is once the fuel price comes down. That one. Because if I wonder how dollar is affecting tomatoes and pepper, I do know how dollar is affecting now. But now, we're saying the same thing. Look, it was very easy to use it as an excuse for things to go up. But people are not happy. Okay, these things have come down. What is happening? Oh, some are saying, we're using old stock. We need old stock. Stock is new. Well,
it's people use the price of pure water to even monitor the dollar now. But in the end, it is a cycle. We've talked about this so many times on the show. There's a little bit of an infographic there on tension in the Middle East as well. We've talked a bit about that as the conflict escalates amid the global markets. Now, that also does affect the cost of the dollar. The impact of the dollar to other currencies.
To other countries. But then if you are gaining against the dollar, for a country like ours, we are a major oil marketer. In some ways, it should be good news for our economy. Why? Because those people who are supplying, who are dependent on the Middle East for their needs, will fall onto other places where you can get this thing, and to be in some ways a sort of a boom if economically we know what we are doing.
So, in other words, tension in the Middle East should boost business
in other places. It's very simple that way, you know.
Well, at this point, let's wrap it up on the headlines in the dailies. We'd still love to hear your thoughts on these stories. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, wherever you see our posts. We'll be right back after this break.